Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Monday, October 6, 2008. This morning I'd like to look at one of the last couple of things we're going to do in the Seaside tutorial, which is to add static URL support to our server. So to give you an idea of what we're talking about, if we're talking about a blog server, then each entry should have a permanent link, meaning a link that will allow us to always go back to that post. Most web applications have a need to have some level of permanent linkage to various entry points. Seaside allows for that. So far we haven't covered that, and that's what I'd like to do today. So pushing this out of the way, to see where we're going to go, we're going to have an URL that has this ID number, and the ID comes out of the post, and it's just the timestamp converted to seconds. So let's see how we go ahead and add that. What we're going to do is go to blog root UI, and we're going to add a little bit of initialization to this guy to check the inbound URLs to see if they have an URL argument. So the way that works is we have this initial request method, and it takes the request as an argument. Now we want to send super here so that any processing we inherit gets run. You may not want to do this. In this case, I'll go ahead and do it. And we're going to take the ID in and look to see if it's present. And we're going to look at each post and check its ID, which is what I was just showing you a moment ago. And we're going to just check, are there any posts in our cache that match that inbound ID? And if they are, we're going to change the filter block to be an array with just that one post. So we're going to take advantage of our filtering and set the filtering up to just have that one post in it. And that's pretty much all we have to do as far as checking that. Now the other thing we have to do is we want to advertise the fact that we have permanent URLs. So to do that, we're going to go back to our blog list UI, and we're going to go to our rendering. We're going to look at render post on. Right now we're rendering the title directly in our render post on method. What we want to do is refactor that out. So I'll highlight this text, and using the browser I'll pick refactor extract method. And we'll say render title for post on HTML. So we have to match up our arguments, which this tells us to do, and we'll hit OK. So now it puts that directly there, and now we have this method, and we have to just write it. It's got the text we started with, but we want to change that to actually put an URL link here, so we're going to add an anchor. So here's the code. We want to put this out as strong, meaning bolded, and we'll put out an anchor. The URL is going to be /seaside/blogview ? And then our ID, and then the ID coming from the post object with the post title. And that should pretty much do it. So let's hit Control S. Now let's see if it works. So we'll go back out here. And we're in blog view already, so let's go ahead and hit that. And it should re-render it with the titles as links. And as you can see, it works exactly as we expect. So we were able to put in a permalink, and we were able to navigate to our post, and we have an URL that anybody could bookmark easily. Now you could argue that this URL is not the most obvious one, and that's not really the point of this exercise. There are plenty of better ways to have URL and URL space mappings, but what I'm trying to demonstrate here is the point that you can set up permanent URLs in Seaside and have them navigable and bookmarkable. So that pretty much wraps it up for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.